Are you tired of your sales calls not showing up or canceling last minute? Today, I'm going to be showing you how to nurture those calls and set them up so that actually come through. And even better, how to make them more qualified leads. So you're not wasting your time trying to talk to someone that's not even a good fit for your program, because that's a waste of time too. So today we're going to talk about how to work those leads, get them into calls so that you can start selling your stuff and become a successful coach. Let's talk about what it looks like to nurture that lead. Now, personally, I use an outreach specialist that is trained how to strategically go through social media and find my perfect ideal client. They message them, and once that person responds, I take over the messaging and I nurture that lead. So what does that look like? How can you do the same thing? Now, it's very important that you never make an offer immediately to your lead. You don't want to seem pushy. You want to serve. You want to be especially curious. You want to have compliments. If they're in an interesting niche, you'll be like, oh, that's a super cool niche. How did you get into it? How long have you been life coaching? I see you're into health and fitness. That's super cool. You must really help change a lot of people's lives. You need to get into this kind of a messaging flow of curiosity and sprinkled in with a little bit of compliments to create that connection. Now, I'm not suggesting you do everything fake. I'm not saying that you say all these things and you don't really mean it. It needs to come from the heart. People can tell when you're being honest and sincere when you're saying these things. But nonetheless, you need to make that rapport with your potential client and build that relationship. Now, I'm not saying that you go into such a deep conversation that you're telling them about every single one of your kids and all your problems. No. Please keep it professional, that you don't want it to go on longer than a week or two. And it needs to be professional, and you need to be the leader of the conversation. If they start to veer out, you bring it right back to what you want to talk about in a loving way. You need to bring it back. After you've built a little bit of a relationship, and you're going to want to go into curiosity even more. You're going to want to ask questions like, how long have you been in health and fitness? How long have you been coaching? How long have you been building your business? Whatever it is of your niche that you're targeting, you need to start building up that conversation. Once they say, I've been coaching for 2 years, then you could say something like, wow, a lot of people quit before that. What keeps you motivated? I'd love to know what your goals are going forward. You want to keep the conversation to the topic that you want, because you got to be the alpha in the relationship, but you also want to be friendly and interested in what they're saying. Then you want to find inefficiencies. Now, you can't call them out of, hey, you need to lose weight. Hey, you need to build your business. People don't like that. It's never going to work. They have to bring up what they need help with. But you can ask things like, how long have you been coaching and what are your goals moving forward? How have you been able to grow your business? Things like that are going to generate them to admit that they need help with something, or you can see where the holes are in the process that they've been going on so far. Now, you've got to be sure you don't pounce on them if they like something that you yourself don't think is a good strategy. For example, if you do keto and they're counting calories, you can't immediately say, wow, counting calories doesn't work. You have to validate where they're doing and say something like, I used to count calories too. It was exhausting. And now that I have this new method, I've never gone back to counting calories. If you can do something yourself and admit that you once did that, it can help turn them, but you never want to point and say, well, actually, counting calories never work, because that just makes you seem like a jerk. Make sure you bring it back to yourself. You validate them for what they're doing. Say, yeah, counting calories is super popular. How's that going for you? Are you losing the weight that you want? Something like that to generate conversation and get them to admit, you know what? Actually, counting calories doesn't work. I'm sick of it. I'm always hungry. It's just such a pain. Then you can move to the next phase. Once you get them to admit that they have inefficiencies, that they have something they need coaching on, you are in the final stretch. So